here. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.
What's up, how you doing? It's Luby Say with your Legs Media. I really appreciate you tuning in with me today. So we got a couple of things we're going to talk about. Going to go over the winners of this week. The winners of this week. Who were the winners of this week at the Cyclocross? So let's see what we got here. We got HULST, we got ZONHOVEN, we got well, it's MOL. Diggum is on Monday, but before Diggum, there's a bunch of races that are happening before for Diggum. Sorry, not Diggum. So, but back to this. So, welcome. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then we're gonna jump into just get into it and just show you the winners over the weekend. What winners are we talking about? We're talking about these winners. So, is my shortcuts working? Yes, they are. And so now we're gonna just jump into. We're gonna start off with HULST. HULST was a surprise for the ladies. We had like an amazing result in the ladies. It was good to see. So we had, as you can see, we have Maria Shriver. She's under 23, currently leading the World Cup. And this is like her first win as an under 23 in the elites, and she came ahead of Lucinda Bren and Park Peterson. So Maria Shriver, like from the gun, she just took off. She's got an amazingly fast start. She's one of the fastest starters in the cyclocross field, in the pro women and in the under 23s. And she uses this fast start every week to get off to the front to make sure she finishes in the top 10. She got an amazing start this day as well. And then once she, got away, she just never looked back. And it was all she wrote. Basically, it was just everyone I was chasing for the rest of the race. And an amazing result for Maria Shriver. And then in second place, she had Lucinda Brand. And only for a second or third race back, Park Peterson finishing on the podium in third place. Amazing finish for Park Peterson. And then in the men's results, we had Niels Vanderput. He pretty much did the exact same thing that Maria Shriver took off from the gun, and it must have been the secret. They must have talked amongst themselves. There must have been the secret for the day. He took off. He saw the front, and he never saw anything else. And then you had Felipe Orts, who came in second, and then followed by Ron Pimhar. So Felipe Orts has been riding for a little while. It's good to have someone from a different nation, because basically all of the cyclocross is basically Belgium, Dutch, and that's who your podiums tends to be, like Belgium or Dutch. And to have someone from a different country breaking into the top, the podium in the cyclocross is good to see. So Felipe Orts is they love him. He rides for Ridley. It's a small team, about 4 members, three men and 1 woman team, and they do all right. So I believe they got 2. There's the other ride in the top 10 as well. And then Pim Runhar, and he rounded up the podium. So on to our next. All right. So basically this is all over the weekend basically, and they went to ZONHOVEN. Sorry. Then went to ZONHOVEN, and ZONHOVEN was a little different. Which course was this? I can't even remember the course. But Ceylin, basically, she didn't get such a good start, so she had to work her way through to the front. And then once she got to the front, then she was able to just roll away from everyone. So Ceylin had another amazing ride, followed by Lucinda Brand, and then Zoe Baxter. So no, sorry. So basically, okay, I'm remembering how the race went. So Zoe had a really good start. So Maria started fast, but Zoe challenged Maria and basically just went to the front and rode hard and just led from the front. And she almost held on until about 3 laps to go. And then she finally got caught by Lucinda and Ceylin, who were behind. Lucinda and Ceylin were behind Zoe like battling out, like duking it out, and then finally Ceylin just like put on the jets and basically left Lucinda, caught Zoe, left Zoe, but Zoe was able to hang on and get the second place. So Alvarado took the win on at ZONHOVEN, and then Backstat was in second with Lucinda Brand coming in third, which was a good result. It was a really good race. And then for his debut, Mathieu Van Der Poel showed up for ZONHOVEN, and it was a really good course. ZONHOVEN is a super muddy course, and I'm just trying to think it's the right course because there's so many races this past weekend, and then plus it's going to be more races on the weekend. But anyway, Mathieu, in this particular race, he didn't have such a great position, and he was like third row from the back. He was really patient in the start. Like he didn't like try to push his way through. And as we've seen riders in the past who've tried to, like some of the top riders in the past who have been stuck in the back, and when they try to push forward, it always ends up in them getting in some type of crash or some altercation. So Matthew was really patient, and he waited for like this muddy section where he knew people would get bogged down and slope a little bit, and he wouldn't have to push and make risky moves to get past other riders. So all he did was wait to this sort of like thickest muddy section, and he just powered past people on the outside, worked his way up to about third or fourth place, and then by the time he got to the sandy, that like really sandy downhill part, he just like, oh my goodness, he was like a bullet, and he went down the sand, through the sand, like it was pavement or something. And if you watch everyone else, like the sand just swishes you all about and everything. But it was pretty cool to see. And then once he got to the front, that was it. That was all shit he wrote. He finished over a minute ahead of second place, which was Thibaut Nice, which Thibaut had a really good race as well, because Thibaut was able to ride away from everyone else, while Joran was sure was able to get the best of the rest. He had to catch, I think it was like Michael Van Toornhoort, and catch him to outplace him for third place. And yeah, so to see Matthew come back to ZONHOVEN, and ZONHOVEN is it's just an amazing, just watching the race, the amount of people that show up for the cyclocross, the way they design the courses as well, with all of the sand, the turns, the downhills, and fortunately there weren't any serious accidents, because last year Lucinda, she didn't come off on like on the sandy part, which is probably the most risky part. She came off on like just a straightaway, which seemed pretty you know like nothing would happen. It was just a straight, and she went down and she broke her nose, and so that put her out of the race last year. But yeah, I mean, Zonhoven is a beast, of course. It's just super, super, super exciting. Like the sand and the downhills, and yeah, and it was really amazing to see Matthew come back and just really just take care of the business. And then the final race for the weekend, just before the Christmas holiday, I shouldn't say the weekend, we is MOL. So in this race, Matthew was a little bit more patient. Um, there was a lot of sand. There wasn't as much sand as Zandhoven, but there's still like a pretty good mix of sand and mud through for the course. Like, so it was considered a sand course, a sandy sand type course. And like Shrek, who is next to Matthew, who finished second. Shrek is like literally like the sand specialist. This guy can basically ride the toughest sand sections where most other people have to run or walk it. And after like a few laps, and I think Matthews was behind Shrek, and saw how Shrek was handling Matthew, really quick learner, said, okay, this is how you do it. And then from there on, once like Matthew started like just plowing through the sand with the same efficiency as Shrek wasn't able to hang on to Matthew like throughout through the rest of the course, because Matthew was able to sustain his strength and his speed, whereas Shrek definitely not as strong as Matthew, and he doesn't have the endurance base as Matthew, so he wasn't able to. He had to back off, catch himself, and then come at it again, so they make sure he finishes in second place. But it was a really good race. It was really good to see, and how Mathieu, like, just kept his poise, was patient, and then sort of just went for gusto a little later, in the race, not as early as last time. So I think he just realized, like, from the day before, he didn't need to go as hard as long. So he just, almost like it was he wanted to win, but at the same time, he was getting a bit of training in. And then, not to forget Michael Van Toornhout, who finished third on the day, and which is good for him because he's the leader of the UCI in the UCI points. And because each race they do, you get points, and it's a series, and whoever gets the most points after the series wins the points. So he's currently leading, and he took the points off of his teammate Ili Izabi, Ili Izabi started off the season. He started off the season with some controversy, but then he picked it up and he came back and he raced really well. And then he seemed to fallen off a little bit, but it's talk of like he's got like a bit of a back injury, and like we just hope that he gets better. Just like, yeah. So this is a tough week to have an injury, because then they got like 3 races or 4 races coming up. Got a race tomorrow, a race on Friday, Sunday, and Monday, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. So this is a tough time for Ellie Izzy to be having an injury. And in the ladies, also at MOL, again, so we had both winners from the day before, in the men and the women, and winning both days. So Ceylin, she basically won the day. Trying to think. Oh, Lucinda Brand came in second, and then Inga Vanderheiden managed to hang on for third place. So it was another interesting, another good day for Ceylin. Ceylin just, I'm just trying to think, like, is it the longevity of the like, 'cause she's got some of the road legs, and I'm not quite sure, but I was just thinking. So there's no Fen Van Ample when she's out because she's got like a knee injury. But at the same time, I'm watching the ladies, and I'm noticing that it's like the speed that they were doing, and how it was a different type of competitiveness over the last couple of years. But this year's like most of the top ladies, like Ceylin, Lucinda, Inga, uh, uh, oh, somebody, Maria Schreiber, quite a Fan Van Empel. All of these ladies, they raced the road the whole year, so you can sort of see like the sort of like the fatigue and stuff and everything. So it's a lot for the ladies, man. It's a lot, and the men as well. So I'm not surprised. It's not surprising that you're seeing like different winners for the ladies race all the time, and in the men as well, because you just can't keep going, keep going, and the body needs a break. Like, especially like Thibaut Nice, he did really well for 2024, like in the tour and stuff. Like winning. I think he won a stage race. I can't remember which one, but Thibaut Nice did really well. He did a lot of work in the road, yeah. So like at some point, these guys they got to, their bodies have got to some find somewhere to recover. So, but anyway, that's a look at the weekend and what's coming up. So tomorrow is Gavir. So we have the World Cup in Gavir, and then on Friday is the exact course, Leonhardt, which is what I wanted to say, and then you have the World Cup on Saturday. So you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The races all in a row, and then the World Cup is in France, so the weather will be a whole lot nicer. And then on so that's the 29th. So the 30th. Then on Sunday is the Super Prestige. Is Daigam. On New Year's Eve there's no race, but then on the 1st there's the Trophy Valdren and Bal. So there's a Trophy Bal, Valdren Bal, and that's on the 1st, and then on the 1st, and then on the 3rd is the in Coxside. It's the again is then you get a race in the Coxside, and yeah, so it's just going to be a busy, basically over the next 10 to 12 days. It's probably about So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's about 8 races. So it's going to be really busy. It's going to be something to watch and see every day. It's going to be tons of excitement to see. So really looking forward to that. So that's just a quick look at what's coming up. And that has been your Cyclocross update and outlook for ending of 2024 going into 2025. Anyway, this is Ines Luby, Say It With Your Legs Media. Hope you enjoyed that. And we will see you on the next one.
Say With Your Legs Media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.